Welcome to Breezin with Bierman, the podcast, a Princetonian Now Media Group production. As always, our aim is to, I'm going to enunciate, educate, inform, entertain, and tell you, my people, what is trending. And please listen to Breezin with Bierman. So far, it's on Apple iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, Facebook. I got to talk to Pat. Anyway, we're going on and on and on. Today's guest is a local tri-state media legend, producer, film director, actor. He started the Average Superstar Film Festival, trained as an MMA fighter, was a co-host on Breezin with Bierman when we were at Princeton TV. And when he was co-host, he brought the station, Breezin with Bierman had the highest ratings, especially his Facebook Live. Yes, he did. And most recently is back to promote his movie, among other things, The Dark Military. We're talking about, the local legend, Loren Lepre. Loren, thank you for coming. Long time. How long has it been since we've actually interacted in a studio and in a professional?
I think the last one was with me there. Anyway, what may have been October of 19, I think was the last one. And George McGovern, and Lamar Bromley, I think was the last one.
Yeah, some of those, on you, Lana Tassella, who's a producer of Breezin with Bierman at Princeton TV, she would separate the segments. The one with the MAA fighter got 7,000, 8,000 views, which is not bad for local media at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was a name, brilliant. Yeah. Van Arsdale, and a great guy. Yeah.
Well, you brought. I did get a message from him, a YouTube message from someone saying that this guy never won a fight. Is that true? Did Van Arsdale?
No. He won a lot, and then I mean, he was off to a rapidly awesome start, and when he lost, I think they found where his holes were, and he continued.
Oh, got you.
He continued to lose, and then you fix that, and then you spring a leak somewhere else and stuff,
right.
But. That's also, we know what it's been, especially the last year, about how just brutal everyone's been to each other. So it's probably just a troll,
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, that happens too. But Loren Lepre, again, we can knock on print. I said it was Princeton TV again. Dysfunctional leadership, COVID-19. I don't know what's going on there. I do miss that studio though, and it was a great name. The name Princeton was.
It was great. I mean, I highly enjoyed my time there with you guys. I mean, it was awesome. I would sometimes look at the other programming, and I was like, none of you guys should have a show. It really was, to be honest. I wasn't a giant fan of what I was seeing.
Yeah, but, I got to say one thing. George's vision, which I disagreed with, but he stayed to it. He didn't really care. It was kind of like Wayne's World. He didn't want to promote. He didn't want to raise money. He didn't want to have some kind of focused programming.
What I believe he did was like someone who owns a great venue to a club. Like, you have all this potential, and you did bare minimum.
Right.
That's sad, because it was a great place.
I'm going to put some kind of hex on him on the station and everything. Drives me nuts. Anyway, let's get back to you though. First of all, here promote. What is the update on The Dark Military? And for those who don't know, just give a synopsis of the film and what inspired it and what you've been doing with it.
The Dark Military has been around in reality, it's been around a while, but it's been a long road. It was a feature film I did with about 70 actors, where my entire purpose was to introduce the horror community to new horror movie icons with high production value. That was all I wanted to do for the first one. This is a trilogy. I would like to complete the trilogy. You could, I could sit here forever and tell you the ups and downs of the distribution nightmare I had, but basically right now you can watch it for free on Amazon, Tubi, Movieplex, Mancho TV, Binge Horror. There's a whole bunch of them out there, but they're all free. So basically, go to your television. Voice Command The Dark Military. It's going to come up and watch.
Beautiful. Yeah. I want to get into those distribution issues later, just to give it like a lesson to wannabe filmmakers out there. Speaking of that, what about the state of the independent film business, the world that you're in? What's it like now? I know COVID has really put a damper on things.
It put a damper on things, but if you take COVID aside, what has happened for anybody who wants to make a film, there's good news and there's horrifically bad news. And I always love hearing over the last couple of years where everyone's just like on an up and up and up. But like, I don't know if they're like, I have no problem announcing a truth. I have no problem. Why would I look myself in the mirror and lie? But the good news is it's so cheap to do a film now, between the cameras that are out there, the lenses. It's just so much more easier to make a film these days compared to what it was like 15 years ago. Okay, that's the good news. And you got the softwares, you got YouTube help. I mean, you could literally ask a YouTube question. You might have to go through a few videos to like, who's that? That person's not giving me the right answer. But you'll get your answer and stuff on what to do in certain areas. But I'm talking about putting a film together. That's what I'm talking about. But that's the great news. The bad news is there's almost no money to be made. And you need to realize when you make a film currently right now, I'm talking about the year 2021, all these streaming outlets, they know you need them. They don't need you. Oh. So here is the terms. Here's the very few pennies we're going to give you for every time that movie's streamed. So you need to look at going in. You're not coming out a millionaire. Okay, that era is over. There was a time, no matter what, any film got taken, and and you were going to come out with some money. That's over. The market's saturated. Look at right now with Warner Brothers owns HBO. Okay, so they took all their films with everything going on with COVID and the downfall of the movie theaters because we're a spoiled bunch. We'd rather stay home in our own comfort of our own house. And be honest, as much as I'm a filmmaker, I'd rather stay home and have access to my own bathroom, my own refrigerator and all that. But they took King Kong versus Godzilla, the Zack Snyder Justice League cut. Everything that is scheduled for the theater is going to HBO Max because all they're looking at is that $14, $15 a month rental that you get by HBO Max. That's how they're looking at the ticket. Times 12. So they're going to try to make that $144, whatever.
And a lot of volume.
And that's what Netflix is and everybody else. So it's all out war right now with like what to do. But you got to realize the actors are pissed because they're getting points in the back end at the theater and that's been taken away from them.
Right.
So now to get a movie green lit, I mean, it's so hard. And that's for the A-list people getting in trouble with that right now and having trouble. Someone in my level, it got rougher. And I advise everybody, be honest when someone says they want to fund your film. Tell them straight the truth of don't put in money that you're not afraid to lose.
Right.
Don't lie to them and be like, we're going to come out millionaires. That's someone's hard-earned money. Tell them the truth. Tell them the state of everything going on. And hopefully there's people out there that just throw money around. They're like, I want my name on a film. I don't care. Here you go.
Okay. Vanity project, right?
Exactly. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And now let's suppose I did get money. You got COVID insurance. The budget just went up there. There's all these rules you have to now follow. Forget it. Like the A-list, the SAG. Oh God, the budgets went through the roof because you got to have a professional team come in and wipe things down every so often. And so movies got more expensive at the time when there's no money to be made.
It's a paradigm. It's the equivalent of like when the railroads came in and the horse and buggy went out. It's just everything's been upended so quickly. It's happened so much faster. I wonder if movie theaters were slowly dying. I could see them in the future just being like niche bookstores. You would have a few independent theaters and maybe one or two chains around, but that could have even been hastened even faster.
It's crazy because I think last year at least, and it's about to start up next month at like the Mahoney Drive-In and stuff, all that. But like that's where I've been going. Last year I went to so many drive-in screenings, but you're seeing movies you've seen before, but like they might bring the cast there and stuff and raise the price. But like you're hanging
different
out
ways to market.
Yeah, it's just you're interacting with fans and stuff. It's a great time. So like, and social distancing, you're outside. I mean, it was wonderful. So the drive-ins across the country reopened, or people were just like, that abandoned parking lot, we're gonna rent this out, and go. So I think that could be here to stay for a little while. The movie theaters, I don't think they'll all go.
No, but it's going to be more.
Depending what area, though. The AMC was rumored to United Artists, like they're talking about bankruptcy.
Well, they need money. They need protection. They need some of the stimulus money. One thing I think movies are they're gonna find niche ones there. They say 40 and under will not really go out to a movie unless it's like a blockbuster and they go with their friends. I mean, those days, and they're gonna have to have like renting seats, reclining seats, food. They're gonna try all these different ways to market it.
Yeah, because they're trying to put you in a recliner like you are back home.
Right.
But the only thing to me safe is like the kids' Disney movie or Marvel or the Star Wars is the only thing you're going to knock out of the ballpark. So these days, like, would you really fund a horror movie or a comedy? Like, do you really think you're going to, make that impact? So it got a lot rougher. I said the equipment and stuff it's always getting better. Oh my God, the equipment that is out there that has access for filmmakers, it's great. But to me, I call making a movie right now like you're building an apartment complex. To say you build this beautiful thing from the ground up and you get all these tenants that come in, and then finally, you're like, oh, look at that, look at this great thing I built. And at the end of the month, they're just like, here comes the bills. So you tell everyone, you got the rent time, and they're like, no. That's the streaming outlets with giving you money too. They always find a way to hold it up. And you still got those bills. You got those film bills. Same thing, like I said, if you have an apartment complex, you got 10 people rent for, and they're not paying you. Well, the bank don't care. They want their money. Right. So you got to be prepared for that. Like Dark Military was filmed in 2015. This week, I will finally be out of debt from everything I've ever spent in a movie.
Yeah.
6 years later. Now, a lot of that stuff I didn't have to do. I didn't have to do all this marketing and stuff, but like, I promised my cast, I promised myself that I would go all in, magazines, commercials, and everything. Like, you got to do it, and that's just the credit cards. Got the credit cards, right? So if there was any advantage I had last year when all that stopped, I just worked more. I made the most money I made in my life last year working real world stuff. So now this week, I'm finally going to be out of the shadow of debt of film.
But it does make one wary about entering any type of business arrangement to make another movie then. I mean, it's a boulder on your shoulder and a lot of work. I mean, I saw everything you went through just to distribute it, market, grind.
Yeah, and some of those things, like they hit home runs with I got hits and all that stuff and the physical media. And then other stuff, areas I tried, I'm like, this will work. No, it didn't work at all. Damn it. Like, it's just, now I got a big bill coming, so.
Here's another lesson too. You're still not married. If you're married with kids, it's maybe not the time to try to do an independent film. You won't be home.
Yeah.
Do it right.
But I mean, a guy like me who's not married, no kids, like film eats up a lot of your time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why married with kids.
So last year, and this winter was a little on the dark side, obviously, everything's like closed. So it was a little dark here, So, I'm so happy March is here and I start seeing things on my calendar that I can actually do. And at the same time, you want to be active in film. Like, well, first off, you're a script writer. Well, you got all the time in the world to write. And I don't call myself a script writer, but I have to do it because I'm a filmmaker. I didn't feel it the entire time during COVID. If I was to sit down, I think I'd start forcing the story.
Right.
I've got to have so you're finding other ways to try to be active, and there's only so much when you're not updating yourself.
Yeah, let's stop there. Human beings need interaction. Yeah. I find myself too. I thought I'd be more creative, more focused. I think sometimes I feel like I'm in jail. I can see why people go. I'm not comparing myself to someone in jail. Don't get me wrong. They have it much worse. I can see why you go crazy though. I'm not really upbeat.
We're technically on house arrest with like the right to go to the store.
Yeah, exactly. I can't get together with you and 5 other people in a room, have some beer, shoot the breeze, learn some stuff, network. Like before Breezin with Bierman, it was like a salon there. People make connections. Yeah. Yep. You mammals are interactive species. It's true.
Yeah. So it's like I just look at like when we're clear, I'm going to be like the dog in the backyard that got through the fence. Like, you're not seeing me again. You're not catching me.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Let's get to one more point, a good one, before we get to voices from the crowd. Those are people from basically the Princeton area. I told them you were coming on and they gave me questions, but you asked me to ask you this. And again, I think it's very, you've told me this before, but what I'm about to say is this. You said, watch what you say on social media. It's very important. What are your sage words about and the mistakes you see people making on social media?
I call it everybody's post from 2020. No matter no matter what side of the fence that you're on, you got to realize. I don't want to go political and stuff because it's not what I do, but I have to for a second. We just had an election. Biden won what by 52%,
Yeah.
and Donnie got freaking 48%. Let's just call that 50% down the middle. The stuff I was seeing out of filmmakers sticking up from one side or the other, I'm just watching careers crash or losing fandom. Because I used to always get annoyed, but like, I love the guy as an actor, but like Sean Penn, like somebody who just, you're this brilliant actor. And it's like, yo, when we go to watch your movies or any actor or actress, what our job is to get you out of your reality for 90 minutes to 2 hours. And at the end be like, God, that's what life's about. That's great. This is inspiring. The more you speak and someone's like, Republican, Democrat, atheist, whatever. You don't want them looking at the screen and being like, that's what they see, and they get upset and walk away from you.
Right.
Dude,
Right.
why would you ever self-sabotage your fans? Because, well, I've got to speak my mind. You speak your mind when you know someone who's molesting children. That's when you speak your mind, okay? There's certain areas where you do that, but like, I have my own political stuff and world events and COVID. I can sit here all day and go through all this with you, but I don't, because I just want when you hear my name, that guy works hard.
Right.
That's all I really ask for. I don't care for the people that know me if they got to pass judgment on me for any other reason, but you'll never knock my work and you'll never my work ethic ever. And I think I don't need stuff like that on top of me.
Right. I think it's left to everyone's conscience, but I understand what you're saying because you want to make the imaginary real. You're creating a character, a scene, an ambiance, a feeling, a moment, and why sully it? I remember Michael Jordan once said I think he eventually did endorse some political candidates, but when they asked him earlier on, are you going to endorse candidates? You're going to speak out? You're black and this, and he said, look, Republicans buy shoes too, leftists buy shoes too. I'm a businessman right now, he said.
It's like thing, and Dolly Parton said the same thing. Like, she's from the South. You probably know what side she's on, but every time they try to get her to talk, she goes, I'm an entertainer. That's all I want. He goes, that my job's to entertain you.
Actually, she got in a little trouble too. She finally made a comment about Black Lives Matter, something pathetic. And then unfortunately, because it's such a polarized time. She caught.
If you say one wrong word, here comes cancel culture.
And, exactly. On both sides, yeah.
I'm so anti-cancel culture. I mean,
God, don't get me started with that.
You got everybody in the world telling you, here's what to say, here's how to address me, and I'm like, dude, all I want out of life, including this film, is I want to have the best time possible. I want to be with the best people. I want to travel. I want to see things. I don't need to be at the edge of my seat like, how should I talk to this person? No, I'm not doing. I'm going to be myself. If you ask me something, if you're cool, sure. But like, don't come at me with like, here's my script. Here's everything you got to do before you talk to me. No.
Yeah. It's dogmatic, and of course they can weaponize it and just use it against you just if they want to shut you up. It's weird. It's believe me.
It's called boredom too. I just think we're at the point of like, I just think once all these, we open up,
a
little bit more away, but I do think when the doors open, we're gonna have wars of people because like everybody's gonna be walking out with everything on their sleeve. Like, here's what I stand for. I'm like, okay, stand for it, but
or maybe they'll just be spending money too. That'd be nice. Pen up.
Yeah. But meanwhile, you're we're just waiting, and I still go to the gym all the time. I'm always doing stuff inside my house and outside. Like, you're trying to get by with all this, and the drive-ins are open. The shore will be open soon, and there's my weekends. Honestly, for what we've all went through, my last summer, especially on the weekends, they were rather awesome. I mean, I saw it, but I made good things happen. Regardless.
Like what?
Like you could go to shore, you could go to New Hope for the
Oh,
day, you could go to whatever, like travel,
right,
go
right,
places,
right.
and do things that are outside.
Gotcha.
Wear your mask, whatever the rules are, I'm gonna follow them, even if I don't agree with them. I'm not gonna be that guy that's like anti, I'm just gonna do this stuff. I don't do that. Whatever
Right.
the rules are, I'm gonna roll
Gotcha. Can we go to some voices in the crowd?
with.
And I see what you can answer. As a filmmaker, Loren, are you a good listener, and how important it is to be a good listener on the set? I guess you could, depending on what kind of film director and what kind of personality you are, though. I mean, are you? I didn't see you as a guy with their crop in his hand, just saying, "Do this, do that." But what's your organizational approach?
I think it's very important for people to listen. I had, when I filmed The Dark Military, there was people on the set that were also directors. So I asked, I would say, like, listen, if you see a shot or you see an idea, bring it to me. Why we're there that maybe I don't see, because why not use it? And if I don't like it, don't use it.
Right.
I'm not Mr. like authority, like I am the director. How dare you talk to me? No, I will never do that. Like, the only person I would maybe do that to is if it was like someone was on the set and never been there before and they're just getting carried away. Like,
And they're espousing.
yeah, kid. I get you want to be involved, but you got to calm down. Like that's it. So it's important to why not? Why not listen? I mean,
I agree with you too, because if they have a creative idea and you can fit it in, beautiful. I mean, high tide raises all ships. What do you think your strength is in a director? In particular, is it script, seeing a good script, casting, organization, begging for money, or a combination of all that?
Combination of all of it, but I do believe I kind of made The Dark Military like the movie Moneyball, where everyone's like, why'd you take these people? Why'd you take this? Why'd you take, I'm like, no, you don't get it. For what I need in just amount of time that I'm going to shoot this movie in 8 days, these are the right people for it. I was always good with the casting stuff. Like, I just knew, look, you don't know every waking second what your cast members are doing when, they're, you only have so many that you're shooting at a time off to the side. But it was very important to know I didn't bring people on the set that I thought could make drama to make a toxic environment. And that would definitely be a no-no. That's why, for as many the film festivals I used to run, between the 1,000 films that I've screened and constantly paying attention to people on social media and who's who, I kind of know exactly who I always want to work with. There's hundreds of actors out there that I want to work with, and every so often someone goes off the deep end, and I'm like, damn it, I can't use them now. Like, unless it's like a really small unit of actors where I can stay on top of them. I cannot let he or she wander off, because they're gonna poison the rest of the cast.
Right.
Problems. So I'm very good at it. That's why I can never have an actual casting company cast for me, because they might find, if you want to say, the best talent. Talent's great, of course it matters. I don't know what I'm getting as a personality.
Right.
That could destroy a film, because there's only so much money, and you can't have somebody bringing things down.
Yeah, it's like a sports team too. You have to have cohesiveness. You have to have teamwork, and I guess you have to. When you have 8 days, that really sets parameters for you. So you really know what kind of team you have to have.
And that's another thing of like prepping. Like, you just got to know way in advance. Go over every scenario in your head of like, if this happens, do this. If this happens, do that. So you got to have a backup to a backup. I mean, I had kind of scripts backed up in case one of my cast members came ill or suddenly had to quit, of like, here's what we're going to do right from here. Here's how the rest of the movie is going to go, so.
It's like going to war. Of course, no one does, but that's what military they think of all the variables, all the contingencies, do their best to plan for it. Of course, you're still going to have things go wrong. It's like the fog of war. It's like the fog of filmmaking. You just don't know. The weather changes.
Without a doubt, I just read the Dark Military script, the original one that I wrote, and obviously everything that I wrote did not make the movie. but I was like, there was a lot of stuff I had to cut, and I'm like, man, I wish I could have got. You're going back like, I wish I could have got this in. I wish I could have got that in. But you got 8 days. Some things had to go.
Right.
You know, so.
That's another one. Someone who watched The Dark Military said there's a lot of set pieces in The Dark Military and even battles. How hard is that to film?
I'll give you a great example. The final scene where there's a big fight at the end. There was a shot from the top. That is not a drone. That was a skylift.
I remember that. The crane.
So to get that shot, we lost 2 hours. And all the cast members had to do was stand still down there, but just moving the thing around and all that. And then like, oh, we don't have enough light at the fire. Like get some more, like everything. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I know we're not going to get this done tonight. And it's going to cost me a lot more money just for that 2-second shot to show pizzazz.
Right.
Thousands of dollars to go into another day. Thousands of dollars. And the scare of like, does any of these cast members, can they come back?
Right, the next day.
Yeah, because like that was the only part where I thought I was gonna possibly actually cry. I was just like, if anything, tomorrow I gotta cut all my hair off and be a completely different person, but I'll come back in a week. Come on.
I'll get mannequins and dress them up.
Oh,
anything.
Yeah. So.
Here's one. I think I wrote this. Podcasting, promoting. What's your take on podcasts today? They're growing pretty much.
Pretty much, including me, where I'm trying to actually build a studio, a small studio in my yard where I'm going to be doing a show. And anyone who's seen like Joe Rogan's show, like that type of setting that he has now, like I'm going for coming out of the gate hard. So,
right.
You know, and something that you could film in too. So I'm joining that because I always need to know that I have some sort of soundstage. What happened last year will never happen to me again.
What was that?
We're just like,
no sound. Because there's nothing to back up.
I can't film and all that. Like there was very little that I did last year. So right now podcasts are real hot. You keep in mind you want to put out a show once a week. That's 54 guests a year. That's hard. Like I have like my list of like heavyweights, the medium to here's going to be like a round table of a few people where we can talk about things about life, which Adam, you're one of those 10 people. I didn't know if I told you yet, but yeah, I said there's 10 because you don't know who it's available on what day. So I have like this.
I just want my limo. I want my limo and I want my craft services. But anyway, promise don't beat me up. No, yeah. I mean, I think you hit one thing important about you need 54 shows at least. You've got to be consistent. Maybe you don't do it. Maybe you do. I've done 10 already in 2 months. But you know, and Pat's been helping me and everything. But just wrangling the guests up, that's a whole procedure alone. Yeah. And hopefully, and I learned from you, common sense. I want to get my numbers up. I want to get guests with following. Yes. I want to get influencers. I want to, hopefully be entertaining.
Yeah. Now I'm closer to Philly compared to the people that had to drive from Philly to Princeton. Like I just think I could get people to come over a little bit more. Like it's more easier.
Right. Or you could do it some remotely. Right now, I'm doing everything remotely. We'll see how that goes, though. I mean, everything's going to evolve.
But I think it's important. I mean, you can make money off of the YouTube. I mean, I know people are making a living off it, but keep in mind, these people are getting, millions of views, you know, and then you can sell your merchandise underneath all that. So
right, and that's happening.
That's kind of what I'm up to guarantee, that like I have something to do. It keeps at me, myself, and Average Superstar Film still doing something.
Okay.
And if we ever get in a lockdown again, I got a studio in my freaking yard. There's still something.
Right.
You can always be doing something.
You can be creative, and you have the luxury of that. I've been told to wrap it up. So before we go, give us, what you want to promote, how they can reach you, your websites, everything, anything else.
Website, and there's 54 pages on my website. There's a lot to see. I always tell everybody, have everything logged that who you are and show exactly what you can do and have it, that all hosted in one particular area that anyone can see what you're doing. So averagesuperstarfilms.com, lots of media there. Please check it out. You can reach me on Facebook and Instagram, Loren Lepre, pretty easy to follow. And my baby, I have a Pennsylvania hardcore movie and The Dark Military you can watch for free on Amazon, Tubi, and Movieplex.
Amazon, Tubi, and Movieplex. Say it 3 times. Amazon, Tubi, and Movieplex. I can't count. Amazon, Tubi, and Movieplex. Well, Loren Lepre, again, thanks again. And I want to thank you again. You know, the smartest thing I ever did, you came on. And just for whatever bragging rights, you brought Breezin with Bierman to be the highest rated show, especially with Facebook Live. Local legend, we got good local numbers, not millions, but thousands. No one else was doing that. So your touch was, golden. And check out the Dark Military. This has been Breezing with Bierman, the podcast. Again, we're talking to the local legend, Loren Lepre. And this has been a Princetonian Now Media Group production. And we'll be back.